What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome back to Bulls Latest. My name is Jefferson, and we're just getting started here, man. The season is right around the corner, man. I am so excited. I got my guy Caleb Wilson's jersey already. It's on its way. I might be more ready for Caleb's rookie season than Caleb Wilson is. Actually, I've already bought the jersey. There's no turning back now. If this kid stinks, I'm going down with him. But seriously, it's good to be back here. We spent all summer talking about this team, trying to figure out what Bryson Graham is building, what Thiago Splitter is going to do with these guys. And now we're getting close enough to where, it actually feels real. So if you've been here watching all summer, thank you guys. I really appreciate it, man. If you haven't and you're new here, just hit that subscribe button, like the video, jump in the comments. We're just Bulls fans here talking basketball and having some fun with it. Once these games starts, though, that's when the channel actually starts getting a little bit more fun, right? Because I know myself, I'm gonna have some terrible takes this year, but I'm gonna have some good ones as well, right? Hopefully, fingers crossed. But that's the fun of it, man. And today I want to talk to you about two guys, right, that I think could completely change where this franchise is headed: Matas Buzelis and Caleb Wilson. Right, because the more I think about these two playing together, man, I really think the Bulls might have something here. I really do, and I don't think just for this season, right? I'm talking about the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, man. That's where I'm at. Let's start with Matas, because apparently this man is spending his offseason trying to turn into the Incredible Hulk. If that video of him benching, I think it was like 225, something like that, it's making the rounds on the internet, and of course, it turns into Planet Fitness over there. Everybody's now a personal trainer. Actually, his elbow is in the wrong position. Like, come on, man. He's 6'10". He's putting up 225. That's amazing. I can probably do that as well. Yeah, right. I just care about what this video represents. If Matas knows he needs to get better at getting stronger. Like, he knows it. He knows he needs to get stronger. If he's gonna play on that physical side, and he already know that he's interesting now. Like, he feels like he's taken that next leap already without having a game. Because last year we saw him take a step, offensively, and now I want to take another one. Just like to see a finished, product. I want to see that. I want to see him hold up, better defensively as well. More comfortable with the ball. That's very important this year. And seeing what he can develop in the mid-range game as well. Because if Matas can start, punishing teams from there, now, what are we doing with him? He's 6'10". He can attack. He can shoot. He can get in and out of transit, right? And now he's getting stronger. Like, that's a problem. And then you put Caleb Wilson next to him. Man, this is where I start getting a little too excited, because I don't think we're talking about what these two could actually look like together, man. Like, two young forwards with size, both athletic as hell, both do things different, right? But they're basically starting this thing together. Matas has a little bit of a head start, sure. But Caleb Wilson, the rookie, I feel like he's already going to be playing amongst a man amongst boys. That's what I feel like with him, especially in the summer league. But these guys have a foundation right now. ESPN is already putting them some pretty big expectations on Caleb Wilson. You're actually getting some respect, right? They're talking about his path to become an all-star, talking about his long-term ceiling. And I get it. I've been driving the Caleb Wilson bandwagon fan, all summer long, guys. Hell, I got the jersey's on its way. But I also don't want us doing that kind of thing where, we just expect this kid to walk into United Center opening night and immediately be an all-star. He's going to have some bad games and bad nights. He's going to look like he's 19 years young, right? And that's okay, because he is, He's still a kid. He's still a couple of years from, being able to drink. And I think I'm looking at where he and Modest are together because I imagine if Modest can become, the player that we think he can get to, and Caleb as well, those ceilings for both of those people are sky high, man. You know, I want. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I want to see. I'm excited about the development part because we talked about that a lot too. We've talked about the coaching staff, about how Bryson Graham is, changing this organization and how it operates. So here's the test. Now show me that you can do it. Let's see what it says. Because ESPN can say whatever they want about the Bulls history of developing players. I get the criticism, but this isn't the same front office either, right? We're not. It's not the same. We already know. Like the coaching staff is completely different. We're saying this is a new era of Bulls basketball, baby. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we have to prove it, though. We can't talk a big game like we're doing. I am, and we got to go prove it. That's just what it is. But that's the really big conversation for me today. Modest is getting stronger. Caleb is walking into the league with huge expectations. And I think those two have a chance to become a nasty, nasty duo for a long time, right? Just not just two good players, just two different dudes that are they're so different, but they're a lot alike. And that's what I'm about, man. So that's why I want to start on this episode. I want to get into because we're still talking about what we're building around these young guys. There's a name out there that I think at least is worth a little bit of a conversation in Max Strauss. And we don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying Bryson Graham is going to get him here tomorrow, or like that contract isn't nothing. Like you're talking real money here. So, but if Cleveland is looking to move him, and they're calling, like, what's the deal? What's the catch? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we do if we're able to, get rid of some of the assets that we're not too sure about to bring in a sharp shooter like that? Like, I am all on board then, for that when it comes to Max Strus. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know exactly what the number on him is, but I definitely know that I would not mind having him coming off the bench. Or, yeah, that's the thing. Would he even start? See, like here I am going as a fan, thinking like, oh well, yeah, that makes more sense. He would probably come off the bench because we already brought in Norman Powell. I feel like we already know the starting lineup, who it's going to be, right? Like, in my opinion, like I think we already know it's going to be Giddey, Norman Powell, Modest Buzelis, our Rookie of the Year, Caleb Wilson, and Nick Claxton. And then we have a nice bench, man. Like the more I think about it, I'm excited about a few of the dudes on there. And if we could bring in a sharp shooter like Max Strus, man, I'm all on board for that. Absolutely. But yeah, I was watching ESPN last night, and they were talking about how his expectations coming into the league as the number 4th overall pick, he has the highest ceiling. They already can see it. So like it makes me feel good, like just bringing you guys the news and be like, man, I see something different in this kid. It's not just because I'm a Bulls fan, like I'm a sports fan in general. I love a good sports story. Don't get me wrong. So like when I saw this kid, when we drafted him, I was excited, and then I did more homework on him, and ESPN is just reporting that he's going to have a monster. He can have a hell of a career, is what they're trying to say, and I could not agree more with them for the first time, right? But at the end of the day, he's still a rookie, so we also got to be patient with the kid, right? But when it comes to the duo of Modest Buzelis and Caleb Wilson, I feel like that can be such a scary dynamic duo, especially in the East. I can't really think of another duo besides. I mean, Philadelphia obviously is gonna have theirs, but they're just so they're always with the players they have, they're injury prone, man. And I never wish injuries on people. I want them to play 82 games. You know, they're getting paid a lot of money. I want to see every game. I'm not with sitting people out either. So, but definitely never want to wish an injury on anybody. But it just there's no way like that team is gonna stay healthy. You know, in my opinion. But yeah, that I feel like that duo between them two is very very scary, and it could be here for a very long time. I'm not gonna go and compare it to Jordan and Pippen, right? I mean that was a completely different era, different times, different basketball back then. But we haven't had that here. We tried it. I mean, what was in the last duo we can think of? Levine and DeRozan, I guess, right? Right now, there's no one right now besides until we start, and I'm excited about that. But at the end of the day, we have no idea what kind of this team is really going to be. But that schedule is also dirty, man. The NBA did not hold back on the Chicago Bulls. But I'm excited. You know, we have a lot to prove, and if we're able to make a move that makes sense for both sides, I would love to bring in Max Strauss. Honestly, he's a Chicago guy too. I believe he was with the Bulls at one point. He was drafted with Bulls. Don't quote me on that. Leave it in the comments. Please correct me if you will, and like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Because I feel like he would do well here too. I feel like he would be a fan favorite as well. You know, he has that aura about him, that Chicago Midwestern boy. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me tonight. Do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel, and leave me down some comments in the comment section if you think it's a good idea to bring in someone like a sharpshooter like him coming off the bench. Who knows where this team is headed? Right now, we just have hope, baby. So, with that being said, go Bulls.